Okay, we are back. So I made the new piece. Made the new piece a 1/4 inch longer. So I made it 1 3/4 inches, and we're totally back to where we left off. So moment of truth. Okay, that seems like it'll work. And I think I showed this in other videos, and I know someone who had a bot had no idea how to do this. But the eyes have a flat spot in the back, so the whole idea is that you can turn the eyes 90 degrees and then just kind of push them in. See, that can wander a little, that can wander out. So I need to actually add a piece of tubing. I think I have the right size for that, maybe, possibly. I should have a scrap piece of tubing. Is this the size for it? This came off, yeah. This will work. This came off of, I don't think this came off of the PizzaCam bot. I think this came off of Pasquale. Now I just need to find, oh, his goes. Okay, let's see if that holds it on. The real problem is that, oh. You see, now it can't come off. The real problem is that these end pieces are real worn down. This one not coming off, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just because I can. Oh, let me cut it first. Okay, I'm done with that. Put that back. Oh, that might have been too much. Well, it's keeping it on there. Okay. Uh-oh. The only problem with that one is, yeah, we need to cut this down smaller. The actual hot eye was hitting the eyelid. Okay. So this eyelid is actually a little tight on this hole right here. No, that's not going to work. So what I can do is I can try to take sandpaper. I guess I'll take this off. Okay. I'm trying to get some of that. Okay. Okay. So then you turn it like that. That makes it a little better. It's hitting the eye still, and not the post hitting the eye, it's the eyelid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. I'm going to swap the eyelids. Okay, this one is looser. Okay, this one's fine. Having the same thing on this side. Same problem. So, okay, so then okay, that works fine. You know, I feel like okay. So now we got to go back to what started all this. Is we got to center the eyes. But first, before we center the eyes, we'll set the set screws up. Okay, so that works. And then Okay, so now what we want to do is we want the eyes centered with the actuators off. So actually the easy way to do that is you take something flat, like this roller I got, place them on the back of the eyes. But of course these eyes are machined differently, so you can't do that. Okay, so when they grounded off the back of the eyes, they're grounded off differently. But you can still use it as a judge. I'm going to call that good right there. So then you take this. Come on, go. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Still touching the eyes, but you see, that might work out better. So let me give you front on. Okay, so you see when pressure gets to both actuators? Okay. Okay, so now what are we going to do? I guess we'll do the eyelids. Okay, so this one, this eyelid is crap. I mean, it still holds, it's holding pressure, but it doesn't have that much life left. And let me try this one. Oh yeah. So basically both of these cylinders are crap. Now the only thing I can do, I'm just gonna have to replace these eventually. But okay. You see, these Bimba actuators are not rebuildable. You can try to put penetrating oil down in there, but that's not a good idea. So we'll just mark them as a loss. Okay. So the way that'll work is we've got a... Oh yeah, so the marking on this, there's 2 holes. Let me bring it in here. There's 2 holes, and the reason that is this frame is made for all characters. So some characters had eye raise, and some characters have eye blink. This one has eye blink, but the what do you call it? The marking on it shows that it goes in the back hole. So that's the only reason I know it goes in the back hole. I mean, I could ask my friends with characters, but I think it's safe to assume that it goes in the back hole. Okay, so put the rod in, we put a shaft collar in, put another shaft collar in, put an actuator in, this one's shaft collar is tight. Try to clean it off some. Let me get all the shaft collars. And this shaft collar is missing a set screw. Lovely. Where's the one missing a set screw? This one. Okay. Oh, it's just a spot on this rod. That's bad. There we go. Okay. So we put in the actuator. And then we put in another shaft collar. And that's just perfect. I'm going to come up short of shaft collar. Oh, you know what? Might have never taken it out of this box. Hopefully. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I did order. I remember now. And these are 1/4-inch shaft collars. And try to keep it. Wait a minute, I'm going to go like this. Yeah. Damn. Okay, for some reason this shaft collar doesn't want to fit. And that's because the set screw is not all the way out. That always helps. goes across to the second hole, just like that. So we center the shaft, then we put, okay, once the shaft is centered, which, nope, just centered right there, we tighten up these end ones to keep the shaft from going back and forth, like that. Okay, and then we hook these up to the okay, perfect. Then we tighten up these shaft collars here to keep the actuator from going back and forth. And you just want to make sure the actuator's straight so it doesn't bind with the eyelid. Now this is the bad actuator right here. Yeah, this actuator is wrecked. Okay, so in a year from now, when I'm finally ready to put air on this thing, right lid, the actuator's bad. Okay, now the only thing we have left is the mouth actuator, which has a lot of grease on it, so I want to clean it off. Okay, so I cleaned it up, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Just 2 pins. Now the 2 pins are different sizes. So I believe this big pin goes in the back. Okay. Oh, you know what? I wonder if these 2 washers went in between here because there's a big gap. Okay, so the head is back together. Although I'm going to do my research. So in my parts container, I do have 2 brass washers left, and I have the thick ones left. So I had to do my research on that. I'm trying to see if I would have put two thick ones in here, that would have just made the problem worse because it would have brought the widest part of the eyes out. But I'm thinking somehow these washers went in between here because the clevis has a lot of room. So let me flip this around so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the head is completely rebuilt. So we got the mouth, and the mouth has a hose around the actuator to keep it from closing all the way. I guess because of the mask. We have eyes cross. And I'm not going to do the right eyelid because the actuator's all messed up. And we got an eye close. So that's the head. As you can see, it's pretty simple. So we can move on to the other part of the bot.